Morning, everybody. It's Jeremy, Three Little Birds Rumble Channel, and Jazzy, Superstar Pitbull puppy. Just out for our morning walk. It's actually our second one. And listening to a podcast this morning with my coffee. I've been using the Rise mushroom coffee. If anybody wants to try that, it's really a lot cleaner energy if you want to get it away from having too much coffee, if there's a such thing. I love coffee, but I figured I'd try the Rise mushroom because lion's mane, really good for you. All the healing qualities, good for your brain, all kinds of stuff. But anyway, I was listening to Bards FM, Scott Kesterson, this morning, and he was talking about Roe versus Wade and how the lady finally came out and admitted she was a paid actor. Yeah, she was paid to lie to us. The lawyers made up this thing, and it destroyed a nation, sort of. You know, they demoralized us. I shouldn't say it destroyed us. It led to people's ignorance and following their narrative on why it's okay to abort your babies. Well, I'm totally against it. Abortion is murder. It's plain and simple. It's murder. From the minute your little spermie hits that egg, that's life. Boom. The miracle has begun. All right? So anybody wants to argue anything after that, fine. That's lawyers just trying to make money off it. It's murder. Murder. It takes that one brief second. Similar to how God breathed life, sung everything into existence in just a blink of an eye, snap of a finger. And it just shows you all the narratives that have really influenced our culture and our country and our thoughts as Americans and what we think is good and bad. And we're living 1984, people. We're really living it. If it ain't here yet, we're past it or on the brink of it. It's a brave new 1984. Let's say that. You ever read A Brave New World in 1984 by Orwell, Aldous Huxley? You know, I don't know. It's all coming true, sort of. It's all happening. I don't know why we're wanting to ignore it, and that's what bothers me, because that won't make mainstream news, that the abortion narrative, you know, and Planned Parenthood, like I said in the earlier video, how Planned Parenthood sells them, it's hard to even say, but sells the baby's parts, and companies buy them and they manufacture seasonings and flavorings for all the goods that we buy. And them are things like Pepsi Cola and Doritos. Whether they still do or not, I don't know, but there's documented reports out there that could verify this. I'm not gonna go do the research. I've done it for myself, and that's why I'm reiterating these things, because that's all we can do is keep saying these things that are bad, but they got us thinking are good and okay, and it's not. Look at these birds trying to keep Jazzy away. Let's watch this for a minute. They're gonna swoop down at her. She'll try to catch them out of the air. Look at, they don't like us near the nest. Big flock of them came out. Probably swooping down at me too. It's all right. Hopefully they don't poke my eyes out. Come on, Jazzy. Where are you, girl? She's off in the weeds somewhere here. Probably trying to get a sip of water. And she made it down there. I don't know if you can see her. But anyway, it's a shame what our culture is come to believe is good, is bad. You know, we're really in some sort of an upside down world, or inside out world, where everything good is bad and bad is good. And you got people making their little diamond symbols and wearing little devil's horns like Katy Perry and mocking God like Lady Gaga and dressing up in a slice of meat. Our whole culture is screwed up, man. And I know the hippies got a bad rap way back when, and people want to say it was a CIA op, whatever. But a lot of good came out of that, and a lot of bad. I was a hippie, I guess, in my teenage years. Listened to the Grateful Dead, smoked my fair share of pot. Even ate mushrooms a couple times. It was fun. Helped make memories with a lot of my friends in a weird way. But they're not such horrible things, I guess. But the bad things are starting to be told that they're okay. And it turns out that all these things that are bad, that we think are okay, have been false narratives and what they want to label as disinformation or misinformation today. But the people out there believing otherwise, that stuff is good and we should have freedom of choice, and it shouldn't be a choice to murder a baby, because these same people will go out and get mad that I live in a van with my dog, and they'll worry about my dog having ventilation and water, like I'm gonna just lock my dog up and let it suffocate in my van so I go out and see it dead, and then I cry when I come back to her after an hour. Man, I leave the air conditioner running, I put blocks of ice in there in a cooler for her to lick, and people call the cops on me because I live in a van with my dog. Yeah, and people think they have the right to do that, but these same people are going to Planned Parenthood for help on planning out their parenthood to eliminate it so they can have a career. You know, that's what they want to push on women. It's what Hillary Clinton did, right? Ditch your kids off into the village for everybody to raise and take advantage of and warp their minds so you can go out and have your careers. But I really hope more mothers out there learn to become stay-at-home moms and start being good homemakers so the good men out there can be good providers and be good, strong men, physically, mentally, go out and do what it takes, because whether you believe it or not, people in America is coming back to being blue collar. All this white collar, sissy nonsense, people sitting up in their office all day, that crap's gonna end, and they're fighting to keep it right now. That's part of the financial wars going on, the stock market, the big tech. But if you look at central banks and everybody buying up all the gold they can, all over the place. China's telling their people, oh, look what we got down there. There you go, see it? It's flying away now. Big egret. Can hear it, I don't know, I can. But anyway, China's encouraging all their citizens to buy silver and gold, because everybody's going to go back to a gold-based form of money, and it's not going to be based on the American dollar. I've mentioned this in a few videos. Everybody else has mentioned it. Well, a few other people, but not all the people that should. Wonder if Jazzy went down there. Where'd she go? I'll go back and look for her. She hasn't gone too far. She's probably in the weeds trying to stay out of the sun. Maybe chasing something. There she comes. Maybe we should go that way. Nah, we'll go this way. Find some shade up here a little ways around the corner. It's a good early morning walk. Not too hot yet. But we got to start thinking about these things, people, and taking a stance. And you can't say, hey, everybody should have a choice. You know what? Your choice is when you choose to have sex. I don't care if you're 16, 18, as a teenager, thinking that's what you got to do on prom night, all the way up to somebody who's 35, 40 and wanting to start a family. You choose to have sex, you should be ready in your heart, soul, your mind to become a parent and raise a child and deal with a pregnancy. I got a buddy at work right now whose girlfriend is considering abortion because they're poor, and she's afraid they're not going to be able to properly care for this child. She has no confidence that she can do it. I don't know. I told them to pray for guidance from God in Jesus' name. And I told them a few things that I've experienced in my life and why I'm totally anti-abortion, why I believe it's murder. But Bards FM, Scott Kesterson had a really good podcast about it today. How he was telling us that Jane Doe was a bunch of BS set up by lawyers to change these laws and change our culture and start a new narrative, even if it wasn't on purpose and it was just to make a little bit of money. It became a movement. I think we need more counterculture movements now, and I think it should be based in a Christian way of life, or let's say a moral way of life. I think once you start living morally, and if you read the Bible, you'll see where our morals come from. And they really do come from the Bible. Anything that we consider good and bad, you look at it, the comparisons are there in that wonderful book, the Holy Bible. And we need to go there more. That's just my opinion, my belief. And I think if we do that, we can fix our screwed up culture, our politics. We can screw up all these agendas that are trying to screw us up. Sort of fighting fire with fire, I guess. Good heat, bad heat. Good heat in the wintertime, bad heat in the summer, right? You want to cool down in the summer, whatever. Strange analogy, even if it don't work, I'm sure you get the point. But anyway, we got to start thinking about civil disobedience and standing up in our everyday acts against these acts that are going on behind the scenes. Don't put all your faith and hope in Trump. Try to place some of that hope and faith in you and get to know your local politicians. So where you live, on a county level or a state level, both, you're seeking more involvement. It's easy to go out and excuse me, go out and vote for somebody like Trump, or go work for somebody like Biden throwing a bunch of fake ballots. It's real easy. Come here, girl. Come here, girl. Hey. Come on. We got a lot to think about, people. It divided my family. Not abortion necessarily. But here. Differences in opinions and beliefs on how we should live our lives, and whether or not the woman or the man got to make the final choices in the family. Come on, girl, here, get your water. I got a golf bag, but I don't golf. Go subscribe to Scott Kesterson, Bards FM. Look it up. Pirate FM. It makes a lot of sense. He's straightforward. He doesn't try to get all educated, like seems like a simple man that's trying to guide people in a good way. We change what we buy, we change what we do, we change what we believe in locally with our neighbors and our family and our friends, and we don't just do these things on social media and post all these posts like we know everything. We need to learn the things that really matter, like our God-given rights. And we need to share them with our neighbor again. We can't believe all these Zionists and these Marxists, all these people that are trying to plan the future to benefit just themselves, and they treat us like serfs along the way. We got to change, and we got to change for the better. And the way to do that is to love your neighbor, even if you don't like the lifestyle they're living. You know, hate the sin, not the sinner, type of thing. Don't get me wrong, there's some bad people out there, and you should steer clear of them, but we should still pray for them too. There's a lot of people living lifestyles out there that we don't have to agree with, but we can tell them why we live the way we do, and maybe influence them to see how we see them from the outside. I'm totally open to anybody coming and telling me why we shouldn't believe in Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior, because the more time goes on, and archaeology goes on, and science goes on, and even genetic research into our DNA, they're finding things that they're labeling the God gene, and the analysis that they've done on the Shroud of Turin shows the silhouette of Jesus, and they examined the fibers, and there's no amount of energy that can put that imprint on a cloth today. There's no amount of technology we have that can do that. That is a supernatural imprint. Watch out, Jazzy, them birds are coming swooping down at you. See what she does. But anyway, Jesus is the way. See that? Swooping right down at you. Watch your eyes, Jazzy. They're not like blue jays, so blue jays will come down and peck you right on the top of the skull if you're near their nest. She's trying to get a little shade, so we're gonna go off into the woods. We'll get out of this place, starting to warm up. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning, 10:30 now. She's already wanting to get out of the sun. I'm trying to acclimate her to it a little bit. But anyway, love your neighbor, people. Get some silver and gold, maybe some Bitcoin, even though that's only good in their digital world. But what Bitcoin originally stood for is free, decentralized money. It's open, yeah, everybody can see it. You can see all the transactions. I leave my Bitcoin wallet address in my description of some of my videos if you feel like donating Satoshis to my legal battle against Amazon for terminating my employment, for not using preferred pronouns as it goes against my belief and my guidance from the Holy Bible. And my belief is there only being two sexes, man and woman. You can call it all a million genders if you want, all these different personality and character traits, and label them as genders all you want, but it's BS. It's all BS. The whole agenda is a controlled method, controlled movement to warp the brains of our children into being guided away from good, truly good, and honest, and moral, and ethical life to an upside down world. What was that show with the kids that they went into the upside down, and there's that monster that would get them in the upside down? Oh, I forget what it is. Not much of a TV person. More of a book guy, I guess. More of a history guy. I don't know. More of a jack of all trades kind of guy. There you are, girl. But I know there's a lot of podcasters out there like I promote, like Mike Adams. I don't agree with everything Mike Adams says. I don't agree with everything Scott Kesterson says or Donald Trump says. But I don't have to. But I can relate to a lot of what they say. I don't have to live by what they say, but I can use their advice like I would from a wise old neighbor who lived through World War II and can tell me a story, or a soldier who lived through Vietnam and can tell me a story through experience rather than a movie or a book. So we get to go out and know our neighbors, whether you're like me and you work at a gas station, or you work for the government because you want a good pension, or if you're a soldier in the military, or even if you're Joe Biden or Lala Harris, who are at the top of the administration that's running our country right now into the ground. It's a dumpster fire, folks. We got to start listening to each other and not just posting all this crap on social media that enables them to put algorithms on us to dictate our lives according to what we like. And then we all become the same. Then they give us these mRNA technology, gene editing injections because they got you afraid that there's the big bad boogeyman out there that you're going to breathe in your nostrils. So put a mask on, stay away from other people. Don't go out in the world, get in your cage, look through the little black box portals we call television and cell phones and computers. They're all tools that they use against us to keep their control over us. And it's easy to see. And they've kind of skipped my generation now. They made younger folks look at me like I'm a boomer or I don't know, whatever. But the folks that are older than you, you know, if you're in your 20s, early 30s, look up to the older folks. And especially people that are like 40 and 50 right now, who've lived through the 70s and 80s and the 90s, early 2000s, who were adults during all this, who have begun to see all these lies that were being told. A lot of our time has sort of been wasted because we trusted and gave faith in our government to do the right thing and to protect us, and we bought into their crap, and it turns out that it's only a small select group of people controlling our government and lobbying for regulations and laws and mandates that'll bring them profit, power, and control over the masses. Our First Amendment, our freedom of speech, what I'm doing right now, just talking, is the most important thing we can do. Go out and talk with your neighbors, talk with your family. You'll see that even our political standings, if we talk and discuss them, will all lead to what is best and what is good. Because I do believe that people by nature are good, despite there being them few oddballs out that are bad. And there's your sociopaths and your psychopaths that are running our country, like Fauci and Bill Gates. Yeah, that's what they are. They're psychopaths. They're sociopaths. And, you know, once you get all them riches that they have, you have to live a certain way. You have to live in a devilish, demonic, satanic kind of way just to protect all these worldly things that you have. There is a place in the Bible somewhere. I don't know. I don't like quoting scripture because take Ephesians 6:12 for example. You know, it's one of my favorites. You know, the powers and principalities are what we're fighting. You know, it's not flesh and blood that we fight. Well, these powers and principalities in this world are the ones controlling us and controlling our narratives. But give it all away, like it says in the Bible, and you find this new sense of freedom, and then you find out what you really want out of life. When you just, whether you give it all away or whether it's accidentally taken from you or you separate from what you thought you once loved. I'll take the mother of my youngest two kids, and I don't know, she'd never talked to me about anything. She had a hard life, but had bad things happen to her, and they keep her scared. She didn't get vaccinated or anything, but she was wearing the masks. I wouldn't wear a mask. I got pulled out of Goodwill by the cops because I wouldn't put a mask on. I had an old guy in a hardware store in my local town asked me to put a mask on because he was worried, and I couldn't do it. I told him, "You believe in God?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Then why are you wearing a mask? You're going to believe in the science, you're going to believe in Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior." You know, that's what I told him. And he said, "Please put the mask on." So I left his store. I haven't been back to that store since. And them are the little acts we need to take. We need to go to our school board meetings. We need to go to our government meetings, like some of these parents are, that are actually getting pulled out of these meetings. But that's because there's only one or two of them. When you see your friend getting pulled out of a school board meeting for speaking the truth and what's right and good for our kids, go stop them. Because we outnumber them 2 or 3 sheriffs that are in these meetings. And then go to your sheriff and say, "Sheriff, you need to stand up for the people." All sheriffs are supposed to abide by the Constitution. There's a small group of sheriffs forming a constitutional sheriff's organization of sorts. Go research that too. There are people out there that are doing some good things, but for the most part, we just keep talking about it and listening to all these podcasts like Joe Rogan and Alex Jones and all these people. And I'm not saying they're all bad, anything like that. But we just listen to them, and we think just by listening and them talking about it, it's somehow going to make it all better, but it's not. It's up to we the people to start acting on these things. Because we all see it, we all share it on Facebook, and then we get our Facebook shut down, we share it on Twitter, and we get censored or shadow banned. Get off of Google, people. De-Google your phones if you've got Androids. Get off of iPhone altogether. Apple is just a... come on, a bite out of the apple. That's the Adam and Eve story or something, ain't it? Huh? Yeah. But we don't pay attention. Your Monster Energy drinks with the 3 claws on it. It's a demonic symbol, and you're hooked on it. And we like all these things, right? Because it makes us look bad and tough and strong. No. Jesus was the toughest, strongest man that ever walked this earth. More so than Samson. More so than Goliath. You have David. Real strength is in here. You ain't got to be an ass like Andrew Tate. He's just as arrogant as he gets, you know. He needs Jesus. It'll humble him. Go watch David Janko. I think that's his name. Yeah. Interview Andrew Tate. Go watch Andrew Tate. Go watch Jordan Peterson use this fancy language to explain it all. And somehow we understand it, you know, when you listen to Jordan Peterson. Mark Driscoll, I think is his name. He's a preacher on YouTube in a church out in Scottsdale. Go listen to him. Go listen to Carter Conlon. Go listen to a bunch of stuff. And think about what you're listening to. Read the Bible. Pray. Go get involved in your local governments. And if our federal election gets stolen, it won't matter so much if you've got good people in your neighborhood governing your localities. Because that's how we win. We take back our local communities one by one. We stop putting these pride flags in our churches, and our White House won't hang them. We start preaching in our churches the Bible instead of Joel Osteen and Kenneth Copeland and T.D. Jakes and all these $1 million. I can't even say politely what they are. They're demons. They're wolves in sheep's clothing, however you want to put it. Get the hell away from them all. Yeah, I used to get up on Sunday morning and watch Joel Osteen. You know, it made me hopeful. Yeah, I hope my life gets better and more comfortable. And I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, the Bible tells me all that stuff. We can give it away. Give it away. It doesn't matter. Does Joel Osteen give it away? Nope. He's taking from you. He ain't giving back nothing. There's an image of him giving back stuff, but go back to your small town churches. Ones that got a garden on the back acre. Get back to loving your neighbor. Offer them a cup of sugar. Hopefully pure sugar cane instead of refined sugars. Go offer them some filtered water. Hydrogenated water. Go offer them some organic fruits. Sit down and have a hard cider with them. You'll see we're so different in so many ways, but ultimately when it comes down to it, we're all the same in our heart. We're all made in the image of God. And whether we want to admit it or not, Jesus is the way, people. God bless. Talk to you later.